If someone searches movers near me right now, they're not just browsing. They're not planning 6 months ahead. They need help and they're ready to hire right now. The real question is, are they finding your company or your competitor? And this is exactly where PPC becomes one of the most powerful tools that you can use. Because while SEO takes time to build, PPC can go live in a few days, not weeks, not months, but days. And if it is set up correctly, you can start getting the kind of calls that in just a few days. So let's just kind of break this down simply. PPC stands for pay per click, which means you only pay when someone actually clicks your ad. This is a little different from Google Local Service Ads, which is a pay per lead. Now, when they see it, not when they see the paid ad, not when it just shows up, only when that person takes action. So every dollar you spend is tied to someone actively interested in your service. Now, here's where most people don't realize. Every time someone searches something like movers near me or professional moving company or moving company in XYZ city, Google runs an instant auction. And this happens in seconds. And yes, you are bidding against other moving companies. But here's the part that surprises most people. It's not just about who spends the most money. It is a big factor, but Google is also looking at your relevance, and which is called the quality score. If your ad matches what someone is searching for and your landing page also delivers a good experience, you can, depending again on that budget, you can actually outrank your competitors who might be paying more than you. That's why PPC works very well for movers. You're not just interrupting someone. You're showing up right when they are ready to make a decision. And that is completely different level of intent than you see on social media or meta ads or even traditional ads like direct mail. And it gets better. You have full control over your budget, your ads, the images, the landing page. You decide what you want to spend per day. And you can start small, test what works. If you start small, think about a very small location. Movers, you got to start small. You got a small location, a few zip codes. And then you can scale once you start seeing results. But let me just kind of pause there for a second, because even though people kind of want to start small, you're not going to get the level of leads that you're expecting. You're going to look at something that's not going to quite meet your expectations. So if you are going to do paid ads in a very small budget, you might want to consider starting, just like I said, a very small campaign and a very small zip code. I don't recommend it long term. I've heard many people reach out and say, my paid ads didn't work for me. I got to see the whole campaign to see what happened. And so testing can feel a little, you're just not going to get the kind of results. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not going to get 100 leads that you're looking for. You might get 3 or 4. So it depends on that ROI. You have to be careful about testing and saying that you're going to test. So instead of you wasting money, you can target specific zip codes, cities, or your exact service area, which means your budget can stay focused on the jobs that you're actually looking for. And one of the biggest advantages is the speed of the data. Within just maybe 30 days, I would say, what keywords are driving clicks, which ads are getting the most attention, and what's turning into calls. That feedback loop is very powerful, because instead of guessing, you can actually kind of see what's happening and quickly improve performance. If we simplify everything, PPC really comes down to kind of 4 key advantages. You get targeted local reach, you get fast results, you only pay for real interest, and you get data that helps you improve. Here's where a lot of movie companies might be getting it wrong. So PPC is not a magic button. You don't just turn it on and expect jobs to roll in. It's a system, it's a platform, it's a process. And if that system isn't built correctly and it's not managed correctly, it can burn through that budget so fast. Wrong keywords, weak ads, bad targeting, low converting website. It adds up quickly. And when it is set up correctly, it becomes somewhat predictable. Calls, quote requests, book jobs consistently. The difference is always coming down to how it's built, how it's managed over time, because Google's going to change that algorithm more than you can think. You're going to have new competitors coming into the auction as well. And then, of course, there's seasonal issues. Now, one more thing, and this is very important, PPC is not a replacement for SEO. They serve very different roles. PPC brings in demand right now. SEO builds your long-term visibility. So you're not paying for every lead forever. The most successful moving companies actually use both. PPC for speed and control, and SEO for long-term brand building and growth. Now, before we wrap up, here's something you should do today. Ask yourself this: how many jobs do I actually want per month? And don't come up with a vague goal, a real number, because that number becomes the foundation for everything. Once you know that, you can kind of work backwards. How many leads do you need? How many clicks is that going to take? What budget supports that goal? Now, you're not guessing anymore. You're building a system. And that's the difference between hoping for leads and actually creating very steady pipeline of customers. So in the next episode, I'm going to show you exactly how to structure your first PPC campaign, so you're not wasting money and you're set up to win from day one. All right. Thanks again. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.